Hello, scribes. Good day. We're on to the 3 in the house and the 1 thumbs up. Happy Tuesday, 8th of October 2019 CE. Welcome to a new format, the Artful Dodgers Remedy Club. I would like you to bring me the news. When I say remedy, remember when man is sick, man is unwell, we look for a remedy for our sicknesses. So if you are poorly sick, feeling blue, don't know what to do, I'd like to hear from you. And we'll offer an informal chat with regards to health, wealth, benefits, claims, threats, the force of law, the force in general, whether or not you feel that your rights are being looked after. So I'm going into the live feed now. I'm going to get the comments up, turn the volume down. We have John, Jerry, Albert. All right, so over to you. I'm here to serve. I have some free time. We'll turn off the washer, and I'd like to dedicate the next hour for today, 6 till 7, 10 past 6 to 10 past 7 GMT. It would have been 7 a.m. today, but sorry fam, the princess is still not well. Priorities as they are. I declined to go live at 7 till 8, and we will resume the morning cast about 7 a.m. tomorrow. All right, so I'd like to know from you what your tribulations, pressures are. Remember what time of year it is. We have which October, Hallows Eve, the festival, Day of Death, All Saints Day, Guy Fawkes. After November the 5th, we'll have the Million Masked March, doing whatever they do, making a noise and covering their face en masse generally, spreading a confused message. And then we have the rest of us that currently assimilating practical way in law forward. So with your legal persons there, your misters, your missuses, your date of births and your surnames, how are we doing? Have you got any questions? Are you aware of your data self? That would be your fiction and estate. I would urge you to search Experian Dan and his data self. Look at the adverts there. I'm not promoting the company, but they've done a bit of a favour for man, and for your cognizance of the data side of it, the legal side of it, claims made upon it, how we interface and submit and sign, so forth and so on. So I'm a bit disturbed at what I'm hearing with the quality of your health, wealth, sanctioning, sanctioned for not conforming to the policy, the public policy of the office, and being held accountable for that. That could be at an academy. When I say that, as aka a school, they may be sanctioning. What is it now? SOS. Yanka informed me. Sanctioning of student room is an SOS room, so it could be from there. You may not have conformed somewhere. You may be receiving fines, fees, forfeits, feeling the force of the law. The force itself is a slang terminology for the Met Office constabulary rank and file officers. We have at this moment in time, to my best knowledge, consent and no consent options in this democratic society, loosely termed there, hear me out, all right? So this is all valid and good, but we also have what's called presumed consent, and this divided Club of Rome here is capitalising on that presumed consent. An example would be the presumptions of the court, and the presumptions that you are all on the organ donation register. And if you was to be found somewhere, I believe, I haven't checked recently, you would be presumed to be giving your organs if you was to be scraped up off the side, God forbid it, the side of the road in a fatal accident, worst case scenario, harvesting and recycle. So we have to establish, I'm afraid, some parameters and some fundamental guidelines. Wow, 15. Okay, it's working. If you have shared, giving me a thumbs up, This is for you. This is your news show. You bring me the news, and I will do my best to inform you of my opinion, not splspro.com's opinion. That's where our work lives. This is a little bit of an advertisement only. Obviously, my voice can be connected to the account, with regards to privacy and algorithms and so forth. I hate to inform those that are, hiding their face from the camera. Before we had the camera and the voice, namely the video, back in the day, the scenes of crimes officers and the investigating departments used telephone calls and audio telephone calls to match up voices, identity, times, crimes, scenarios. The forensic investigation department of the United Kingdom is rather good and proficient at, unless you disguise your voice, just putting your camera onto a sign there, brothers and sisters, is not going to cut it. And also being proficient, those that are putting up backdrops instead of their faces, you should be proficient in subsequent areas to know that if you are a legal proficient scholar, we'll call it, you know what I'm on about here, I'm sure some of you can work out what I'm saying, then you should know of these phonetical fixtures of manjoinder to the voice and the call. So simply just hiding your face and permitting a normal voice on a video is not really hiding anything. And furthermore, acts, codes, secular is applicable to whom, and by consent, persons. And by consent, my person doesn't consent, neither does the man. So, the establishment can form many kinds of, acts and statutes and legislative rules of the Westminster, Whitehall and the secular area of Rome and the Empire. But we are not forced to accept that. Common law, equitable realms here do not cause breaches of the public trust. The public trust and the obligations of that are very well and just, and we will respect and acknowledge. But, other such things, the obligations and requirements are, I believe, by consent. So that channel that has said, because of what's happened in May, you may want to reconsider the reasons why you're not putting faces onto videos. It certainly shouldn't be because of acts that are passed by man that are not applicable to us by consent. To be fair, we've got references of this. We're not loons. It's not made up. It's really true. Otherwise, we'd be in a dictatorship, okay? The ship of dictators. Your fictions are ruled by dictions. That is a fact, okay? And the phonics, the 11 harmonic frequency, Sister Nonna. Wow, all of you scribes that I've chatted with, messaged with over the last 48 hours since the seminar. Thank you. I love you all. It was in truly a good vibe, atmosphere. The information we have as a collective is superior, second to none from what I can see here. So I'm winding up. I've updated. I've explained. I'd like you to tell me what concerns you. Have you got a friend with a problem? I'd like to know. And if you have, I'll address it and give you information. There is no legal advice here. You would need a legal licensed High Street, London Temple, BAR, secular, Jesuit, whatever, gang, society member to give you that. What we're doing here is having a private chat. And I've said hello to the three there. Super Leads, hello. Fly, yes, fam. Barnster, hello there, much love. If you've got any comments, Barnster and Fly, could you please give feedback for Sunday's annual meeting, presentation, mood, let them know what we do, how we roll. Feedback from you, word of mouth, first-hand knowledge would be excellent. Thank you in advance. I'm looking up, thumbs up if you feel that love. Yes, we do. Thank you. I feel the love. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Fly. Stephen, hello there. Skyped messages, Steve. Have a look at that. See what you're saying. Data self and be a data controller for the person and your data self. There's Albert with a heavyweight. Albert, could you expand on that and give some comments? I'm privy to a private chat with brother Albert about these allowances, assumed consents and data, GDPR, Data Protection Act for previous ones, supposition of. So consent there. You've got UK contract law, consent, data protection, which is now GDPR, third party officious intermeddlers, commercial realms, Very, very nice. Finally catching a live one. Well done to Sister Lisa. Okay, well done. Thank you. We're forced to use their promissory notes, Jerry. We are not forced. We are just ignorant. We are forced, to be fair, by default. Like when you go to get your shopping from a supermarket, they give you a charge list. They don't present you with a bill. And if you went and got your shopping after being, under UK contract law, walking around that supermarket, into Spar, as they have out there in Hungary, and you consider them prices, you accept them, you put the items into your basket and trolley, you walk round, you go to exit to the premises there, the corporate outlet of distribution of food and energy. We'll call it into Spar, just because I've been to many of them and they just amazed me. They're really capitalising on the land and the fruit there, the products, often processing them, synthesizing them and packaging them, putting lots of money on them and poisoning them and giving them back to us. Of no benefit whatsoever. But you see, you have gone to that till and you've presented everything you've accepted, and this is the contract, the consideration, the acceptance, and now the terms are going to be finalised. You need to now offset those charges. Now, under correct billing, you would get a bill and you would look at the bill and you would give maybe certain bits of details and authorise certain departments of the government in the higher treasury, finance, ministerial, secretarial sides to offset them charges and transfer by discharge as the creditor controlling the credit. Now that would be a bill situation at the till. So yes, I hear what you're saying. We have been forced by ignorance of forefathers, indoctrination and lack of. We have found out certain things that anybody could have found out. Admittedly, the internet and speakers, scholars, courseworks, ones that we've bumped into, Facebook groups, admins, everybody has really pushed and accelerated this king standing position of the realm and our very souls and energetic output, resources, liabilities, duties, obligations, and wishes, requirements. So there's a lot that's wrong. You'll be forced to. You're right. You agree. I'm not arguing with you, Jerry, but just wanted to expand on that for those that are unclear as to why it's weird. That's why. Or bankruptcy obviously doesn't help there. The amount that we've gone through, the insolvency, So Jerry, Fly, John. I'm just skimming. All right. I'm not getting into the other chats that are going off in the chat room. Hello to the 20. Thank you for sharing. I'm looking for questions and updates about your community, your health, your wealth, your GP, sanctioning, benefits, threats on your legal person, the force of law, anything I can help you with. Well, I've got a bit of time. I am here for you. I'd like you to bring me the news from your area, vicinity, friends, family, and we will have a chat. All right. Be careful with the data. This is a public open cast, so anybody anywhere can look at this. International fam, I want to hear from you as well. It's nice to have a contrast. We can deal quite well with the integration of the penal, secular, public, and citations that your troopers and so forth give you over there. All right. Albert, you're a legend. Thank you, brother. Everybody has their place, mate. You are shining. I'm very proud of what I heard from Albert the other day. He's made progress, strong. It's not for me to give him judgment. I'm not judging Albert. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I noticed a change, and I'm very, 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 very happy to be privy to see that. We're all good, Yanka. You're not on camera. You carry on. Yes. Albert. Yes, back to John. Fly. If you want to stand under a government, this is not the place for you. We all here lives and right. Okay. Yes, you have government, and you are either governed or you are self-governed. Now, to be governed would be to be in the legal realm, and to be self-governed would be into the lawful, conscientious, awake, conscionable realms there. So you are either one or the two, and if you require government, then you are subject to the nanny state and everything there. If you establish and notice how we are, we would say we would be reluctant, and we would require full disclosure from now on. So yes, thank you, Fly. That's very, very well put. You have to be responsible, sovereign, initiate, independent. Yes, Quinn. Shout going out to Hong Kong right now. Yes, Quinn. Feeling that. All right, Jerry. Respect. Secured party creditor. Well, I'll just say that's one way of putting it, you know. And as part as a secure party creditor, these Treasury Direct accounts and these things have never been part of that, you know, as it's controlling the credit. We're in this together. In what is this? Yes, Lisa, we are indeed. You can't even make your own clothes. Yes, you could. Yes, you could indeed, John. You make some PVC nasty plastic ones by cutting ripping a hole in a bin bag and putting that over your head. There you go. You just made yourself a makeshift poncho. Hessian. Remember at school with the cloth and that hemp. Such things as. Easily done. Just things we've lost. You know, my nan used to amaze me. She had this stuff called Wonderweb. When I ripped stuff, which was every day at the weekend, falling out of trees, going down the canal, opening locks, jumping over monkey bumps on bikes, landing upside down with the bike on you, skidding down the hill, 3 other of the brothers, you know, at the time, landing, and nails and things. Yeah, so you get the drift. And she'd come out with this Wonderweb stuff and she'd put it underneath, iron the rip onto the Wonderweb underneath inside the garment, and it'd hold it together. She'd rip it where the rip is, she'd seal it and stitch it over from the inside, and then again pull it back the other way, and you'd never know. She had a Singer. It was a pedal operated one. You know, my granddad had a tool shed full of old gadgets and bits and bobs, jam jars with the lids nailed to the shelf, utilising space, clamps, machines, just incredible stuff. And all this is lost. You know, we've lost many things, and that's because of time and the way that we are. So we've lost information, we've lost the language, we've lost what's what. You know, if you don't know, this system says that you don't know you've got any rights and you have no rights. Well, that's crucifying you. We can't let that happen. If you've got rights, all right, and you don't know what they are, and the system, that's a legal system, and it's their maxims in law. He who has rights but does not know he has any rights, then basically, you know, has no rights at all. So your ignorance is your downfall. That's not right, because this isn't our society. These aren't our rules, and these aren't our assumptions and presumptions. We are honourable, innocent, pure, sentient, not criminals. Ignorant, yeah, what too? Constructed man's code of man-made government, government-made persons, and we have been superseded, you know, much like awarding sovereignty to a monarch. We either had it to award or we didn't. It's that simple. Scotland, Wales, Ireland are here. We're working on this. You know, as well as the intercontinental, I've kind of ignored Ireland, and having Hamlin in the bloodline. Wow, you know, apologies. There's a lot to look at. So I want to know how you're dealing with, what you're dealing with. Have you got a story from somebody that you can summarise for me? Something that you're disgusted with? You've got Jeremy Corbyn saying the system of health administration needs to be taken down and used again with some kind of emotion, emotiveness, caring, love. We'll call it love, yes, indeed. Forced adoptions, ones that are in care. You know, I'm not saying that any you know, things that haven't been printed and reported and already exposed, dying for, you know, good health, Panorama, Dispatches, you know, RT News. You know, I'm not going to go through everything we've covered, but there's a torrent, all right, and so we would like to help the current administrators that are struggling. We have an interchangeable, you know, front bench that's it's like a game of Guess Who. And you know, I don't know, it's just random, it really is. So it requires us at some point to stop crying, to stop moaning, to stop waiting with our hand out, and to formulate, like we have done with the idea of the shadow contracts and how that's set up, the legal language, the positions, the liability, the contract, you know, the responsibilities, the duties, the liability, the conditional acceptance, the presumptions, the assumptions, the operative functionality of these civil participation court systems, what you do when you pay your tax, how you pay your tax, how you get taxed, who can be taxed, you know, what that is. If you have disclosure of contracts, if you do not have full disclosure and there are contracts there, then under UK contract law, let alone the covenant with the Almighty Creator, they are null and void. I would never give you a deal and not tell you the full deal and then hopefully, you wouldn't ever find out, but the day that you do find out I've duped you, you'd come and tell me, the deal falls down. It's that same kind of a deal. It's not complicated, but the way that we deal with it is, again, deal. It comes off a boat. It was a piece of wood. When they used to do maritime commerce, they used to do it from the boats, and the boats would pull into the land, and the boat would pull up, and you'd go on the boat, and you'd go and look at your, merchant traders, and you would look at the pallets, equivalent of pallets, they'd be in the same place, tea, precious metals, imports of, fame, equivalent today be your mobile phones and your Japanese, Chinese imports, and your car parts and things that you need that you can't get here, and precious minerals and metals and components from. And then you'd go and see the trader, and that's where your deal was done, on that bit of wood on the decking. And you have a deck of cards, the dealer of the cards of the deck, decks, deals, boats, wooden pallets, it's all mixed. And we're grateful for those that have helped us along the way, for the publications that we've found. And now I'd like to hear the news in the area, how we can assist, what we can chat about, what you found out about, what concerns you, and what is causing you sickness, upset, heartache, misery, pestilence, sorrow. I got to John and close. Yes, fly, that's Quinn. It never happened. Hello, great to meet everyone at the event. So nice to put faces to names, and it did happen. You need to change the channel name to "It Has Now Actually Happened." I'm messing. It really did happen. SPL's Pro made it happen. You made it happen. So thank you for that. Fist bumps eternally. Down, I've caught up. All right, fly on the wall. We got an email from somebody you spoke to that wants me to see if I can pass them your number. Apparently they was going to come to the meeting. I did mention it, I think. I don't know if I got an answer from you, so you'll have to let me know in text message, and I'll give you the details, and maybe you can contact them if I'll get details from them and pass it to you. All right, but happy to help. You're all legends, excellent energies. Was not the first meet and will not be, was not the first meet and will not be the last. No, Albert, that's it. This is it. Each place, each time. We have one every year. I've got to take the minutes down and report back to the family members, all in the .com, what go on last Sunday, what we did. We've got the Key Competence Foundation levels, the additional Masters Guild for you, the grading tool equivalent to test. All right, we call it a grade, we call it a tool to grade you on your key competence. So that's your officer agent interaction. The feedback on that was very good, clean, clear, concise. Shout going out to men like Stephen and Peter, Andy, G Star for that. And we've got a lot of potential for next year. Asset protection has been coming into my inbox. You've picked up on the fact that there is a way now. If you have a property, let me think, bricks and mortar, and you are residing, you have a title deed and the mortgage, the death pledge, you are now free of. We have a current. We always have done, you always have done, but there is those of you picking up, you'd like to look at the asset protection side of it. We are speaking at the minute about that, and we will outlay our proposal for looking at how to, look at me choosing these words, inform you of your your rights under the Law of Property Act and other such laws that will bring to you then your rights yourself. Obviously you cannot own anything because you can't take it with you. You are temporarily borrowing it, these atoms, and on a molecular, scientific, subatomic, realm wide scale. Even my precious vinyls of 30-40 years ago and plus, they're just bits of metal, plastic. I used to love them. I don't care for them anymore. I've still got some, most of them. But the ones that have gone mouldy and broken, and the collectors and the trants and everything, the rares that I can't get, I used to be upset about. I don't care. So ownership is part of that ship. We have titles and rights, possessory titles, allodial titles, possessory rights, whatever you want to adorn yourself with and accept. But They cannot force. And once you know the trick, then it won't work. So all we're doing is exposing the trick, like these magicians and the secret magicians. When we find out the fam, women and children are being sanctioned, threatened, starving, dying, adopted, forced, put into administrative care, using assumptions and presumptions, we will tell you, you know, what this legal arena won't. You hire a solicitor, I hire a solicitor, we both go into the venue, no matter what, okay, we've both got the High Street Temple licence, solicitors, oath to the Crown, not to us, all right? They've got duties and obligations elsewhere, number one. Number two, we've both got lawyers, and they're going to take assumption, presumption, power of attorney, and they're going to attorn us. If anyone's going to turn me over or my estate or anything, I'll do that myself. I am competent to do that myself. All right. So this society has rules that we have been assumed to consent into, and we are strictly working on, you know, step-by-step manoeuvres in which to correct these misconstrued, constructed, statutory trusts and relationships, and finding the biggest ship will always win. Don't get me wrong, you know, authority, it's a ship, citizenship, lordship, judgeship, township, you know, so friendship, everything. We have to be careful with this, and you know, I'd like to hear further from you. Give me your concerns, your news, your aerial, you know, requirements, what you found. That would be GP, DWP, DVLA, let me think, food banks, employment, you know, anything, kickbacks, sanctions, claims, hardships, common law, loss, harm, injury, assumption, presumption. Hit me up. We have got about half an hour left, all right? So I'm moving fast. I'm keeping up with Fly, John, Albert. You are fast. I'm so happy to see the strength, to see the love, see the interaction. I want you to kind of put me to the test. When I say remedy, when you're sick, you get a remedy, all right? That's not a remedy in law, it's a remedy in universal law. That's what it's all about. There's no legal advice. You need to go and see a solicitor or somebody that claims to be a legal expert in matters of such. That wouldn't be me. I'm your brother. We're having a chat. I'm concerned. I'm going to do this tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. till 8 a.m. That will be all through the weekday. And we are focusing on your requirements, your concerns. If you're not sure about duties and obligations and rights and titles, that will be furthermore published and brought out in the bronze, is, you know, the finished layer, lower layer of the Key Competence Masters Guild. So it would follow that silver would come next, and then gold. We're going to bring out all kinds of other publications. We've given you a taster, a flavour. We've given you everything you need for free, and I've made sure of that via Facebook, emails, seminars, meetings and YouTube videos to manage the claims now successfully, without obtaining a summary judgment for failing to represent correctly. And to you know, ignore something would mean that the controversy exists. If it exists, any uncontested claim on an estate for 90 days, or therefore it is 90 days, I believe, will therefore be paid because it's uncontested. That will be underneath, but on the top, the sweat equity from the equity thieves will require charges to be discharged, still on the public side, but on the private side, this double dipped payment system, it wins. The house wins 9 times out of 10, Dan. So ignorance is not bliss, I'm afraid to tell you, and I can confirm that. And when you're depressed and you're suicidal and you can't see a way out, and you're drinking too much, or you're smoking and you're self-medicating, you let it all pile up. Oh, being sick is mitigating circumstances. You are non-compos mentis. You are not trained. You are not at a legal level. We are all handicapped, all right? The bar has one on us, not just with the language, but with the supposition, the estate, the bonding, the finance, the money. London town, I'm ever so sorry, fam, but you've been invaded and you have a foreign, you know, nation within you. We all do as a landmass, you know, Anglo, but I'm sorry, London town, you have London city there. You know, you've got the Mayor of London and you've got the Lord Mayor of London, and its yearly procession and celebration. At some point, we as a family need to recognise Washington, Tri-Star State, DC, London and the Vatican, and we need to internationally, privately address this situation and this stronghold of which we see. Not even the Queen can go in there without asking permission. It's not something that's a free man pretense or fabrication. It really is stark, contrast compared to what you thought, what actually is. And yes, it's an eye opener. So suffering, hardships, sanctioning, denial of services rights, sanctioning of students in an SOS room. It's just incredible. Fly is an open book. Stephen says, is there for all that need. Yes, Steve, all right, you've seen the message. Good day on Sunday. Seriously, physical meetups are essential. A monthly meetup up and down the corpse would be a good way. Yes, well, man broke even for that, as we are a non-profit, private trust in essence. It's a good job because we only just broke even. It was nearly a little minor loss, so it's hard to get on a private basis, good core attendance. So Albert's got access to a hall in Hertfordshire. Come on, all right then, nice one. Quinn's asking for an Aaron sweater, please. Oh wow, you really are getting into the groove there. The needle and groove, that would be needle and record and knitting needle. Sorry for that. I hope you do like it. John, what have you done? You've just made a rod for your own back. I'm glad to see there's not any horrible requests, torment. We are crazy. It takes one to know one know it. All right, so over to you. I want some news. I want some updates. What do we know? What we're doing? Mortgage is a bit lonely at the minute. Okay. There is no fact in presumption or presumpt physical ions. I like the words with ion at the end, Quinn. Anything that's pre, indeed, go on. It's gone. Where's your message gone? Anything that's pre can change in time, mainly on how we look at things on that day. That there is only now. Yes, indeed, I like that. So you can change, edit, rescind. New information can come to hand, new knowledge, new facts. All right. So yes, the presumptions, because think about it. I'll explain it like this. So I'm glad you've put that, Quinn. If you had a business, and you had a business with all of us lot in it, let's say you are the UKG, each one of you is now the UKG, all right? The government of America's, UK, wherever you are now managing, and you've got to now deal with all us lot. How would you do that? Can you interface with us all, the billions or millions, depending on your landmass? America, you've got a lot more heads than we have, so even so, over here, just dealing with a city, a town would be enough, head-wise, content-wise, administrative wise. So let's go. You're all one each now in an office, and you've got all of the UK, Americas, Australias, whatever to look after. And now you need to inform us all. You need to tell us all. How are you going to do that? You're not going to write to us all, each and every one of us, are you? You can't. It's not physically possible. So how do you update? You do it through the notices and the current system that you see. And they have these presumed, rules and assumed, mandated, assumptions and presumptions upon your person by that default, because that's how they've set it up. So if you are, now let's go, you're no longer UKG, let's go other side, back to this side. You are now what's called, is what's called or referred to or envisage yourself as a franchise. All right, the company is UKG, USAG, Australia G. All right, and they're managing everybody. You've just been on that side, and I've just told you how it is and how they manage. Now you're back on this side, and under their assumptions and presumptions and their management to the business, they're now going to talk to you, and you are under their franchise, you have a little business, it's called Mr. Mrs. whatever it is, all right, it's got the date of birth and the surname, and you, because you're part of the government's business and you're a franchise of it, are now only allowed to abide by their rules and their things. That's the basic premise of all of that. So Quinn, your little comment there makes me want to expand furthermore with regard to the rules and why you would have, because it makes sense, all right? It's insane at first, but once you get into it and you expand and you go deeper and deeper, sound of the beeper. Sorry. Deeper love. Bread for deeper love. What? For deeper love. That should have been the one. For deeper love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Proper soul music that was. Yeah, so once you get deeper into the rabbit hole and you go past the Mad Hatter, you high five Alice, you take a bite of the mushroom, you check the clock, you go across the Masonic Mason board, you scoot under the Queen's, sorry, but and you squeeze yourself through that little door. When you pop out the other side, it's an effort. You go into the land of DMT and codes and tetragrammatrons and tesseracts and menorahs, and you come out of that whirlpool of wormholes, and you high five on the way out. What is Terence McKenna, spirit of Nikola Tesla, escorts you out there as you say hello there, Jax. Land back into the realm, collect yourself, and think we need to chat about this. This has been kept from us for a reason, and a very good reason. All right, so I have shared a video on Facebook. All right, you need to check on YouTube. Put in car stereo. Let me think. History. Oh my days! This is what we're about to bring to you. All right, this is one man and a car stereo. Absolutely proves everything we've brought to you and more. I would like, as you've not given me any calls for help and questions and information, and remember, there's no advice. Search Violent Bass Flex on Tube, and there's a guy called Josh Ketchum who's got 228,000 views. Can I get the link and share it? I'll do it for you. Right? This is what we're now going to do. When I tell you there's a secret that's been hidden from us, the secrets of resonance, frequency, harmony, and what we can do, please, here we go, chat room. I'm putting into the room that link, that system that man's using with the cymatics and the magnetic and the other. It's going to next year. That's going to be a key. Let's show your comment, Quinn. It says show or hide. Be back in a mo. Okay. If you like bass and you like iron horses, get ready. Have a look at that. Watch his door bend. Watch the glass bend. There is a harmonic 11th frequency I want to talk about later, but I want to know questions from you. Do you need to bounce something around? Do you need to bring us anything? Has something been brought to your attention recently that you find unbelievable, disgusting? I want you to share this. Artful Dodgers Remedy Club. I've explained about remedies and where we're at when you're sick and unwell and at dis-ease. You require some kind of homegrown, remedy tincture, and that's what I am here to try and bring to you in that form. There we go. Let's have some light. I just realised I'm sat here letting it go dark, concentrating, and I just realised the sun has now gone. John, you got to start making content. Oh dear, yes, I like that. Nice one, Fly. Going through TSA at airport, you have a choice of radiation machine or pay down. How do they consider that a real choice? Or pay down? Sandy, hello there. Thank you, sister. I don't know what TSA at airport, something security, something security, sorry, dyslexia. I have a lot of this in the codified secular world, and we are quite good at the 3-letter abbreviations, but I get that. Security at airport, and radiation machine, yeah, I know that, I don't like this. Or lay down, is that pay down or something? Meeson, what's that? Meeson, I recognise that, John. article. Something that rings a bell. Agreed, Jerry. Yeah, the monopoly is propped up by the sleeping masses' ignorance and tacit acquiescence. Lisa, I'd like to add, but yeah, you go. Yeah, that's exactly how it's done. Indeedy. Sorry, pat down, molest it. Yeah, I've got you. Indeedy. Yeah, I got you. If you want to get onto somebody's channel and you're on the chat, what you do is right click on the name or hold down on the name on the live feed. If you're on the playback and you've got the live comments on the screen, you then just hold on the name or right click. You'll find out which one. There's only two clicks, a left and a right. I believe it's a right to get options on the channel name on the comment itself. Yeah. So I periodically come back to videos and skip through them and get on your names and then hold long press on the name using my media mobile device, and I can then get options of report, go to channel. Look at that, report's always first, the bad one's always first. Report, go to channel, blah blah blah. Comments, mute user, things like that. So you'll get similar options. You just go to channel and then scribe or subscribe, as they like to say. Man is not sub anything, especially subservient to secular, ways of manslaughter. So no one needs anything. This is excellent for me. It means it's an easy hour. I'm going to stop chatting now. I want you to think, please. I need you to offer me what you've seen, what you've heard, what worries you, where your areas of concern are, or even if you don't want to say it's for yourself, it can be for a friend. Just put for a friend. Nobody knows the difference. It's between, you, I, and the viewers. What I do know is that we have found a great many powerful ways in which to rebut. All right, the key there is to rebut the presumptions and the assumptions of the court of the law. Seek your own search of UK maxims of law, please. I invite you. All right, and then get back to me. Do it now while we're live and tell me which of those maxims. Please, which of those UK legal maxims disturb you? Seek out at the same time. Seeking. Ah, yes, and you are the seeing the king, and you are seeking answers. When you do this, you'll remember it all the more. Equitable maxims. Have a look at them, contrast them, and put me to the test. I'm not going to number all of the equitable and legal maxims and so forth. I'm not a robot, but what I mean is, look at them. Ask me what confuses you. Do you get everything? Do you understand? Do you comply? Do you think it's right? Such things as, I'm not sure. I'm not sure you would or you do. With regards to being denied, even like not putting the correct items into your recycled bin. We have contracts and agreements and so forth, and you pay. If you pay and the service is not done, then under contract law it's broken. If it's broken, then we have big issues here. So we have we have submitted everything, and we're still getting spanction. So I see it that we now need to make a little bit of interaction here, because there's far too many ships of the hard variety out there, hard ships, and we'd like to help. Simple as that. Look at that. Thank you. Just scribed. That's how we do it. I like how you're using the same lingo and language and you're choosing it. You have a free choice. I don't tell you anything. I am quite humbled and a little bit, what's the word? Aware of. That's why I choose every word now. I'm not doing it just because of liability. I'm aware that you hang and, I'm honoured. So I'm trying my best, slowing down, getting more professional, and trying not to cause ripples too many, believe it or not, that we can't deal with. So good, well done, Anthony, good man. Don't ask me, your address was just given by the government. That NHS mental health worker woman should know that I could have said I've somewhere in the galaxy. Sean, bless you. Barnster. It was great to see the fam and scribes on Sunday. See there again, and the way that you've put Sunday, it's just brilliant. It's it's brilliant. Fam, thank you for a great presentation. Can't wait. We are on with that. Stephen, Peter and Andy will be working independently and together simultaneously. Obviously we can't do that at the same time, but we are doing many things at once, as you can see, so bear with and thank you. Live what John, something address, I live some coordination. I know where you're coming from. Excellent. Lexicon, yes, Lexicon. So yeah, tomorrow morning at 7 we will do the same. I'm after the youth. I'd like the youth to come and ask us questions, tell us what's bothering them, how they're getting on, what they are up to speed with, if they are able to deal with everything that's coming out at them, their loans, grants, finances, claims, families, mums, sanctions, medication, carers, all community and social issues. There is an interest and a concern, so I'd like these videos to be shared. Your comments, what you put on. Obviously, if you're on the replay, you can go to the top of the video. If you don't know, I'll help you a little bit. Where the thumbs are, underneath the title, you've got live chat. There's a square box. You can choose that, and then you get options for 29. Hello, good evening, 29. Shabba, much love. Fantastic. That's a good turnout for an evening. I'm looking for questions from you and updates, please. So please give them to me. Let me know how you are, what you are, your area, your location would be good. Keep things private that need to be kept private, but just summarise, let me know, hit me up, tell me what you're feeling, what you're seeing. I will inform you as to where to get further information to enlighten you and duly inform you. That's all I'm here for. There is no legal advice, but we're rather good at chasing the dark off and enlightening a room and pushing the dark back into the top four corners where it will stay. All right, so I'm here now for you, in essence. The chat, as I've said, you've got top chat and live chat at the top. I would go to live chat, and then you get everything you won't miss. You know how to scribe, all right, that's interactive with each other. You can then listen to me. Obviously, the Lady of Justice is not moving much, not much to see. I do some hand puppets, and you can look at the chat then. That'll keep your screen active and busy. Looks a little something like that when you get it on. All right, there we go. I got it like that way, so you'd go in for those, and it's at the top. I'll X out, and it's there where you can see the thumb, that one. If you don't mind giving me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you give me a thumbs up, I'd like to know what you like about it. Is it a good type of a show to do? Do you think it's going to benefit anybody? I'm all about benefiting. I'm all about beneficiaries here. This is some kind of a trust we've got here, because if you benefit from something, and I'm going to be the set law grantor of the enlightenment, of the duly informing part, and you are too, scribes. And then they come on here, they'll ask a question, and they'll trust that they're getting accurate, concise, to the best of our knowledge, with no deception, full disclosure, etc., honourable, conscionable, clean hands. So there is the trust part. Again, very simple, and thank you for that. I will never abuse the trust. I value it, and it is, again, the only true currency man has. Trust is, my word is my bond. I'm aware of that, not only because it's phonics in the beginning, the logos, the sound, the word, before the writings and the cuneiform and the Sanskrit. There was many things there, and we had it solid. We donned it. It's since the supposition and integration of state and church and legal and trading souls with birth certificates. They gave us a message there. Jesus kicking out the bankers and infuriating. I think it's the only one time that is ever the historical depiction of Jesus getting angry and violent in any way. I've looked at a great many stories and fables, and yes, lest ye not be deceived. Thank you very much. So London town, we have got an invasion there. America, Washington, all right, Oval Office, obelisk. It's just sexuality, your negative and your positive principles of, and then Italy, Ciaobello, Castle Vetrano, where my home family bloodline is, Sicily, Palermo, etc. Milano. You've been invaded. We've got 3 nations separate to the rest. And yeah, I'm very sorry, but yet you've got the Vatican now concentrating on Hong Kong and certain things. And no, it's not Hong Kong. It's the some flooding or disaster interfering with. Well, how about interfering with something more, relevant? Pick and choose what you want to interfere with. And they're also getting up married, bishops and so forth. Not bishops, married pontiffs and so forth now to help out. We're going against the rules, they're bending things because there's a shortage of. There's no wonder there's a shortage of things. I've got short tempers, short patiences, short wallets, short pockets. So let me get back to your comments. How are we doing? I like that. All right, what's in this world? I like that. Will do. Noted. Thank you. See you later, fly. Oh, sex ed of improper. Wait till you see the new It. I've reviewed the new It clown horror film. Talk about sexual improper material and whatnot. I'm not telling anything about anybody. I'm just saying against natures and so forth, and what they're doing with the murder, and get ready, the indoctrination and deprogramming is on, No, we don't need no pennies. Don't chuck any pennies anywhere. You bless you. We're all good. You are one of the most generous scribes with the super chat you're on about. That's all good. Don't you worry. The universe provideth. We provide. We are looking at asset protection, and if we can protect assets worth 200, 100,000 to $250,000 approximately that are charge-free, mortgage-free, then we'll recoup on that. Don't you worry. That's fair enough. But sharing the links, easy now. Oh, awaiting wisdom. Great. So just checking, is there supposed to be anything on screen? No, just a live chat. I'm just promoting the .com. So I'm sat behind the camera. You've got this here for the promotions. I give an hour of my time, and we have a look, see if anybody's got any questions, concerns, comments, news for me. Once informed duly of their rights and obligations, and we can have a chat. You go to the live chat and you'll see the feed from the scribes there. It's a new format I'd like to try, and it will be continuing tomorrow at 7 a.m. for the morning soldiers, soldiers that are moving around the realm, transporting themselves by force of such. You'd rather be in bed, wake up at a nice time, work from home, and manage your own office, control the credit, offset, discharge, transfer via endorsement, and credit control. As we face it, we may as well learn how to run our own offices, affairs, accounts, estates, claims, because otherwise you've got a 40 hours a week job. So I can probably give you information to the number of 20 hours a week maybe to run an office. That's half of what you'd be doing in servitude. You'd be doing it from home, and you'd have unlimited funds. So there's three pluses. 20 hours less than you. It's 47, is it? So more than that. 27 and a half hours less than your 47 and a half mandatory hours of servitude. Working from home, no danger, no cold, no transport, no fuel costs and all that you save. Safety, time, heat, warmth, staying in bed longer, bonus. And then as you go into work and you've got responsibilities, commitments, legal liabilities and whatnot, and you've got to make profit, money, shareholders, training, like managerial jobs and mundane stacking shelf jobs and processing, and it just, some jobs give you too much time, you think, and you get more harm done. Solitary picking, processing, packing, assembly, meat product, it's just wrong. So there you go. You can run the office, you can manage everything, you can have less time, you can stay at home. It's all these positives. So it's amazing. It really is. It was called Civics I believe back in the day, my grandma told me, we got taught how to do things, and it was common knowledge, transfer, endorsement, discharge, estates, allowances. You was allowed to have an allowance because the estate paid, and you was allowed to have so much of. There was all common. After the Second World War, Stephen and others have commented on this as well, and they are aware. So we will fill in that gap again, and I'm just happy for the torrent of the support, love, and positive testimonials, triumphs. Kevin, Graham. I don't mention Graham enough. He's the silent part of Kevin and Graham with the work they've done with finances, agencies, and so forth. Incredible, absolutely. The finesse, the love, the attitude. Kevin wants to, get it out there, and he's done really well. So we are eternally grateful for that. Requires some input from us, but it's just better than we was before. He helped me obviously with somebody else, turn stuff around. So I can't give enough love and thanks to them too. The Sovereign Smithy, he found me. I have made claims that I found Smithy. No, he found me. He made contact with me. He is the one that initiated with the divine matrix. And that's just one man, all right? Look at one man. How many has he touched? How many has he made smile? How many has he made lose the fear? All right, so I started it and he finished it. Yeah, kind of, and now we're here. So there's more than him out in the realm, and we had 1,000 Smithies, 1,000 Kevins, 1,000 me's, 1,000 Johns, 1,000 Flies, 1,000, all of you, they're there. It's just a slow finding the alternatives and building it up. The resources, the independence, and the courage is what it takes. A little bit of courage is a little bit scary. It's humbling, and I am more surprised than anybody where we are, what we're doing, how we're doing it. All right, DJ, wide boy, bounce. DJ is what I was doing. Wide boy, bounce. DJ. Rave on, hold on, and here we are raving on the airwaves, record-breaking castles, Roy of the Castle, record smashing the bar. DJ, smash the bar is what Yanis used to tell me. Smashed her, and he used to swear, and he'd throw me stuff. And who else was the Zante heads, so many, and I did it. That's what I did. I was smashing and raising bars, and I'm privileged and honoured. I'm surprised, I'm amazed, I'm belittled, and I'm crazy. They say I'm crazy, got me going. You got me bugging. Right, I'm reading the comments, and then we're going to get off. Excellent cast. We're going to carry on in the morning. Thank you, Watt. Nice. Brothers Ice. Comments done. That's the hour in. Hey, great idea to have a regular question and answer session. Yeah, but maybe not at 7 a.m. I am an early riser, so thank you for the feedback. Making a living, not the same exactly. We are currently existing, if that's the way it is. The elderly, the isolated, the strain. The NHS has said that it's under the executives, the principals, the trustees, the apologies, and what I've brought out to you. And we recognise they're struggling, so we'll help them, all right? We'll help them. We're back up. Call in the reserves. We're here. We have reserves. We are going to interface. We're going to authorise. We're going to allow, and we're going to help the... in some cases, it's accidental. In other cases, I believe it's belligerent, and I believe it's officious intermeddlers. I believe that profit is going over care, and I believe the reports of dispatches of late, Renegade Inc., Benicia's, the Great British Mortgage Scandal, all of the speakers and the revelations and the reports and the substances over the form. We are ready. We're going to help, all right? We're not going to fix it overnight. And we had the Rayner report that was asset stripping the NHS. Now we've got a £30 million injection into an NHS that has just been asset. I just give up. They think do we forget? Johnson's paying out for the liability of the alleged poisoning of the thingies in the talcum powder. You're not using that product again, and certain things we forget quick. So we're here with Graham with a quick reminder. Kev, I need to borrow Graham. Graham, your duty, if you choose to accept it, is to give us all a quick reminder periodically, as your name is Graham. Other than that, I will do my best. Thank you all for this hour. And I just saw Mickey Finn, did I chin chin? Hyper, hyper. I'm the Pied Piper. I look into my eyes and I'll hypnotize ya. One family, peace, love, and equity instead of unity. And Mickey Finn, chin chin. Rewind DJ, wide boy bounce. We're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow at 7. I will get the princess to give me a nudge. Well done to Dee and the fam. Well done to you. Well done to I. That's it. We covered it. I had not one question asked me. I put myself out live on Tube. I call it the Artful Dodgers Remedy Club. I've not given one out. So that's a sign off the times. It tells me that all of the scribes of the 20 to 30 of you, collectively 70 maybe views in that hour, not one of you has asked me to inform you or duly, enlighten you on my personal opinion on anything. So we'll look for tomorrow morning. Bear with me. I will be tired, as you all are, in the morning as we rise. Rumpelstiltskin. I love you all. You are the best. All right. Red Santa, Santander. You have the right to be forgotten, all right? Have a look at that, the right to be forgotten. You or your person, is it? Ask yourself that when you're reading that. Right to be forgotten. Whom is it that's being forgotten? Good questions, good interaction, good times, good fam. Good night, and we will be back tomorrow. I might be a bit late, all right? I'm doing it for free, yeah. So just bear with. Once the black juice is made and the princess is sorted, we'll cast, come rain or shine, and then we'll see what the moaning brings. And that's it then. Yeah, we're good. We're ready. Just say my name 3 times. Oh, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Just click your red shoes. Easy. Oh, John, Quinn, Mickey, Albert, Jerry. Who else did we have? I think it was Barnster. I might repeat, Lisa, Watt, Fly. I think that's all of you, is it? Someone, Anthony, I think was a new one in there, maybe, if I'm remembering. A Cuddly Toy, Microwave, Lisa, Sandy, I think was one as well. Me, Sandy something of the Me clan, Anthony of the Moore, Brother Steve, and I can't remember anymore. Houseboat and Bullseye. In one. See you soon. Button Moon, Rewind, Bow Selector. Come on, Kez. Much love. Ciao.